Hi, welcome to the second edition of our Scratch tutorial. Harry and I are here again today, and we're going to talk about sequential programming. So we're going to build on what we did last time around, and we're going to add some new stuff. We're going to build up a program, and today we would like to make the cat move around in a square. So to get going, open up your browser, go to Google and type in Scratch. Click on the first link, scratch.mit.edu, and then you may be asked to log in again, depending on how you've done it in your browser. If you have, then do that in the top right-hand corner. If you're already logged in, then you can go straight to create. So Harry, could you start a new creation, please? That's it. Okay, just as before, on the right-hand side, we've got the cat. In the middle, we've got where we build up our program. On the left-hand side, we've got all of the different things that we could do. So just like before, we're going to start with an event. So go to the yellow events, and we are going to drag in the same green flag. So when the green flag is clicked. Now, to begin with, we're just going to put in what we put in last time. So if you go to motion, and if you remember, what did we do last time, Harry? We made the cat move forward. So drag that one in, and I think we might have made him move 100 steps. So let's put 100 in. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is just test that our program is working as we expect. So let's click the flag and see if he moves 100 forward. He did. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to change it to make him go back to where he was beginning. So I'm going to change it from 100 to minus 100. And then what's the cat going to do, Harry? Go backwards. So he's back to where we began. Okay. So, as I said before, we want the cat to move around in a square, and we'd like him to end up exactly where he started. So, what are we going to have to do after the cat moves forward, Harry? Do you know? Make him turn 90 degrees. And we know it's 90 degrees because if you're doing skateboarding or some stunt bikes, we know a 360 is going all the way around, don't we? Yeah. So if 360 is all the way around, 90 is a quarter of the way around. So it's going to do a quarter turn. Now let's just make sure that our logic's correct. So press the green flag and see what happens. Okay, so we went zooming forward and then quickly turned. And if you click the flag again, zooming forward and quickly turns, and again, and one more time. Okay, so we've actually now, just in those two steps, we've moved the cat around in a square, which is what we wanted to do. But it did zoom a bit fast. So if we go to events, sorry, not events, go to control. In there, we've got the first one in there is wait 1 second. So if we put that in between the 100 steps and the 90 degrees, now what's he going to do, Harry, before he turns? Wait 1 second. So let's test our program again. Click go. And again. So he's gone forward. He waits 1 second and he turns. Click it again. Goes forward, waits 1 second and turns. And again. So we're back to where we began. Now, that's good. He's not zooming. We're seeing that he's going forward and then turning. And that's the sequence of our program. But what we want to do is we want the cat to turn all the way around in a square in 4 seconds, but with one click of the flag. So there's something you can do. I'm going to show you, Harry. It's a little tip. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put in an extra wait 1 second. And then, a bit like a copy and paste in Word or PowerPoint, you can duplicate these steps. So if you right click on the top one, Harry, the move 100 steps, you have to click on the blue and go to duplicate. So now that's made a copy, and then you can drag it to the bottom. Okay, so just like our first step, we're just going to test it to make sure it's doing what we're doing. So it's already moved. When you duplicated, it's moved the first bit. And again, and make sure it's back to where we began. Okay, that's good. But we had to click the flag twice, because the first time it duplicated, it ran. And then we click the flag, and we only want to click it once. So we can duplicate all of these steps. So right. Yeah, in the blue, right click and duplicate. Okay, drag that to the bottom. And when we drop it there, it's going to run the program and see if he gets all the way back to the beginning, which he does. So that's good. We've built up some code in just a few minutes to make a program to allow the cat to move in a square. However, what do we notice about all of these steps, Harry? Too long. And we're not allowed to cook. So, but it's just the same thing over and over again, isn't it? Now, what that is in coding, and this is the same even in my job as a coder, this is a pattern. And as a good programmer, as a good coder, we like to spot patterns in our program. And if we've got a pattern that keeps repeating, we have an acronym. And an acronym is just a word that means something. It stands for something. And that acronym is called DRY. And what DRY stands for is don't repeat yourself. Don't repeat yourself. So actually, what we're doing here in our program is we're repeating ourselves 4 times, aren't we? Yeah. Now in programming, when we're doing that, if we saw code like that, it'd be a bit of a code smell. That's what we call it, a code smell. So it works, but it's a little bit smelly, which we don't really want. So there's a technique that we can use in programming to make that code smell go away. And we can do that in Scratch. Now, the reason why it's a code smell is because what if we didn't want him to go around in a square in 4 seconds? We wanted him to go around a square in 8 seconds. If we wanted it to go around in 8 seconds, we're going to have to change all of these to the number. In fact, I've just said that wrong. He is going around the square in 8 seconds, and we're going to change it to 16. But that means I have to change this loads of times. And what if I forget one, or I type in the wrong number? It would be wrong then, wouldn't it? But it might be really difficult to spot because there's so many steps. And in programming, that's something called a code bug. Something in our program that's a bit wrong. We call it a bug. But we don't want bugs in our program, do we, Harry? No, we don't. So to make this a little bit easier, let's just check it in the 2 seconds. So it's going to take a little bit longer to go through. But I think it's working. Okay, he's back to where he was. But we have something in this same control space where we can replace this code with some new code. New code that's a bit cleaner. So it's called the repeat. So Harry, could you take that repeat and drag it into the side? Don't join it up to anything. Okay. And now we're going to build up our code again. So go to motion. The top one, sorry, the blue one, Harry. All right, let's just move the mouse. There you go. Okay, and drag the move 10 steps in inside of that repeat. Okay, and then go and put the turn in. Okay, inside the repeat, and then go to control. Yeah, and drag the wait 1 second. And put that in between the move and the turn. Yeah, and then drag the wait 1 second again. And put that in to the turn. Okay, so now we need to change the values. So let's change the move 10 steps to 100 steps again. Before you change the repeat, Harry, just change the move 10 steps. Change that to 100. Right. And change the turn 15 degrees into turn 90 degrees. Okay, now, how many times did we repeat this pattern here? 4 times. So actually, this is going to allow us to change that repeat to the number 4. Yeah, put number 4 in. And then let's see that flag there. Oh, not that many for us, Harry. Yeah, that would have been a code bug. Yeah, if you see that green flag there, if you right click on the old green flag, because we don't want this one to happen, and delete block, and we put a new one in over here, what do you think's going to happen now, Harry? You think 1 click, even though we've only got that little bit of code, is going to do the same as all this? Let's try it then. It's important to test it out. Click the flag. Okay, that's good. So now we've got much smaller amount of code, but it's doing the same thing. And then if we do want to make it slower, we can just change it in 2 places. Click the flag. It's going to go a bit slower. But equally, we might want to make it faster. So we could change it from 2 seconds. Wait there, Harry, wait for it to finish. We could change it from 2 seconds to, let's do 0.5 seconds or half. Okay, and change the second one as well. Click it there. 0.5. 5. Okay, and press the flag. Now we go a bit faster. So rather than having to change all of that code, we've just changed a little bit of code, which is much, much cleaner. Now, we're going to do one other thing in this sequence of code. Harry, I need you to think about this, but we're going to go to looks, I think. Click on looks. Okay, we're going to make the cat say something, but he needs to say it at the end once he's finished his square. So, and we're going to make him say something for 5 seconds. So where are we going to put it if it's at the end? Okay, try it there. And then I want him to say, I've finished. No, I'm done. Or I am done. I am, type am. Yeah. Done. Space. Oh, just put a word in. Done. Yeah. I am done. So Once he's finished the square, he's going to say, I am done, and I wanted it for 5 seconds. So can you do that? No. Okay. And then can you press the flag and see what happens? Is he going to say, I am done at the end? Oh. Oh, what does that look like? Pardon, I can't hear you.
It looks like it's saying it in each one.
It's saying it in each one. So what is that?
Code.
A code bug. So where are you going to drag it to? Okay. Now try it again. So that's the importance of testing each little bit, because you realize that there was a little problem there. There was a little code bug, and it wasn't saying I am done at the end, but it was saying it on each step. So we've moved it out of the repeater. We've moved it out of the repeater and we've put it right at the very bottom. And that means our program is complete. So what have we learned today? Don't make a code bug. Yeah. Don't copy, because that is a code smell. Use a repeater for repeated code when you find a pattern. So what we can do this time is let's delete that first block. In fact, I think you have to delete these all individually. So let's delete all of these. Oh, there we go. I'm sure there's a way of deleting them all at once, but I just don't know what it is. And our program is complete. So this one we can save. So just like in other programs that you use, you can go to File and Save, but we're going to give this a name. So this name is called, what should we call it? Should we call it No Code Smell? What should we call it? Square Cat. Should we call it Square Cat? Wait, what? No Smell. Square Cat. Yeah. And you can go to File and Save now. And that is your program saved. Now, if you want to get back to that program, you can do that from going to Scratch. And then I think you can go to My Stuff. And in My Stuff, you can see here, No Smile, Square Cat. So you've saved that, and you can get back to that and carry on later if you want to. Now we've got some other things that we've saved here. You can delete that if you want to. But that's the end of our tutorial. I hope you've learned something today, and hope to see you next time, where we're actually going to start making our game. Thanks. Bye.